Queen Elizabeth I. At the age of 25, Queen Elizabeth I took the throne and kept it for 44 years until her death. In spite of her royal birth, Elizabeth I's legitimacy was pronounced illegitimate due to political maneuvering. After the death of her half-sister, Mary Tudor, she became King of England. Queen Elizabeth I, throughout her reign, established Protestantism in England, destroyed the Spanish Armada, maintained peace in her formerly divided kingdom, and fostered an atmosphere where the arts thrived. Henry VIII's second wife, Anne Boleyn, gave birth to Elizabeth, who was Henry's only child. Her father ordered her mother's beheading at the age of 2, and she was only 2 months old at the time. Her father's reasons for doing so were murky at best. In Greenwich, England, on September 7, 1533, a girl would become Queen Elizabeth I. Elizabeth and Mary were proclaimed illegitimate because their father wanted Edward, his male heir, to take the kingdom ahead of them. 6 years later, in 1553, Edward VI passed away. Both Mary Tudor and Lady Jane Grey were in the running for the throne. After just 9 days on the throne, Mary was able to secure the allegiance of the English people and overthrow Grey. After all, even though Elizabeth was in favor of Mary's coup, she didn't trust her completely. Mary, a devout Catholic, worked to bring her nation back under the authority of the Pope. Elizabeth was a contender for the crown for those who desired to return to Protestantism, despite her agreement with the religious transition. By mounting an uprising against Mary in 1554, Thomas Wyatt was hoping to install Elizabeth as queen and bring Protestantism back to England. After her mother, Mary, died in 1558, Elizabeth became queen. Elizabeth governed from 1558 till her death in 1603 for a total of 44 years. Elizabeth I inherited a slew of issues that her half-sister Mary had stoked. During Mary's reign, there was also a great deal of religious strife between the various groups in England. Elizabeth opted for a more moderate stance in her country's religious struggle. Historians disagree on the degree to which Elizabethan Catholics were persecuted and executed for their faith. Elizabeth was excommunicated by Pope Pius V in 1570 because the Roman Catholic Church disapproved of her activities. William Cecil, Elizabeth's most trusted advisor, helped her bring an end to the conflict between England and France. Elizabeth, on the other hand, jumped into the conflict in 1585, supporting the Protestant revolt in the Netherlands against Spain. There was a moment during Elizabeth's reign that was referred to as the Golden Age of England, or Elizabethan England, when the arts flourished thanks to Elizabeth's patronage. Elizabeth was a diligent worker at court, but she still found time to enjoy herself. She was a talented lute player who enjoyed music. William Shakespeare and Christopher Marlowe flourished during Elizabeth's reign. Literature in various genres was used to honor the Queen. These pictures show that Elizabeth was a fashionista in many ways when she was a child. She was a huge fan of gold and silver jewelry, and her clothes were typically embellished with these precious metals. On March 24, 1603, Elizabeth I passed away at Richmond Palace in Surrey. The spirits of Saturn cosmetic concoction Elizabeth employed to achieve her notably pale appearance may have had an adverse effect on her health.